Joining us on the show, Aries Spears, man, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Welcome back to Houston.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
On the scale of comedy cities, where do you have Houston ranked? Because I know there's great places to perform and not so great, and it's okay. You can be honest.
No, it's in my top 5.
Is it really?
Yeah. You know, this is it's just one of those cities where the energy is good, the attendance is always good. Really savvy, smart city. They get it, man. They get it. So it's definitely in my top 5.
Oh, you're not just saying that.
No.
I feel like it's okay if you are.
No, not at all, brother. No, it really is.
Now, you were born in Chicago, but you grew up in New York.
From
right?
New York.
From New York.
Yeah,
From New York. Okay.
From New York, yeah.
Yankees or Mets?
Neither. I'm not a baseball guy.
No?
Not at all. I just wear the hat because I'm from there.
Okay.
So
Giants or Jets?
Again, I know this is blasphemous, but never been a football dude. My extent of love for football doesn't go past Madden.
Okay.
I play it.
What team do you pick when you play?
I don't really have a team. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, my sports are basketball and boxing. So when I play football, a lot of times I can't even tell you who's on the team. I might be able to name almost one guy per 5 teams.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, man. But basketball, I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Knicks or Nets?
Neither. I'm a Jordan groupie.
Oh,
I was a Jordan fan.
So you're a Hornets fan now?
I'm not. When he left, never. When he left, I really had no place to go. So I eventually fell in love with D Wade because I'm a Shaq fan. And when he went to Miami, I discovered D Wade, and eventually I liked LeBron because he came to Miami. And once LeBron leaves, I'm gonna be done, man.
So you follow individuals, not teams?
I follow the winners. I'm like Don King.
So you're a bandwagon fan?
I don't call it bandwagon. I call it trying to get into the best after party. You know what I mean? I follow the winners. Girls don't love second best. You know what I mean? I step over the body and meet the winner, my man. Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I'm gonna put that on my notes. Girls don't like second best.
No.
That's outstanding. You hear a lot of times where, as comics, people want to try jokes on you or try to be funnier than you, especially morning radio guys. Does that happen a lot more often than
it happens. The one thing I can't stand is I don't mind the wackiness and you trying to get your shine on. That's par for the course. But just be prepared to do an interview. I've gone places where, them dudes aren't prepared, man. They just, okay, so what's going on with you?
What do you do?
It's like, come on, dude. And it's early and you gonna hit me with that.
I got a wiki page
like,
you
could have read. Man. Like, be prepared to talk to me, man.
What's the dumbest question you've ever been asked?
There's no real, I don't know that I've ever had a dumb question. I certainly can't, off the top of my dome,
we ain't done, so.
Think of it. But, I've just had, again, not being prepared is what drives me crazy. Yeah. Like they just want you to come in and go, all right, do you, bup. It's like, come on, dude. Like, come on, man.
Slide whistle.
Want me to do jazz hands? Like, let's have a conversation, man.
Now, are you like that on stage? Does that carry over? Like, because you talk about preparation. Right. I know for me, like, if you ever saw my set list, every joke has a time next to it. I have a specific. Are you like that where you're ultra prepared, so you expect that from everybody else?
No, I just, for me, stand up wise, it's like almost having a playbook for football. You got your plays, you know what you want to do, but you got to be able to call an audible. If there's a heckler you got to deal with, if there's a moment that calls for your attention, if there's an elephant in the room, you got to be able to address it on the fly. But I just, to me, doing stand-up and then going to do an interview are two different beasts. So it's like, I'm coming to your place of business. I'm coming to your house. So be a good host, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't have me coming to your place and go, hey, man, just wash your own dishes and make yourself something to eat. You know what I mean? If you're going to let me do all that, let me bang your broad, too. If I'm making myself truly at home, where's the missus?
I'm glad we're not doing this at my house. And I'm glad I at least had some questions.
There we go.
It would have got weird after that.
I'm just saying, man. Don't have me be at home and I'm really not at home.
Barry, how'd the interview go?
Hosts want you to come to their house and dig their wife out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So if you're gonna be a host, let me know where the boundaries are. Set some rules, man.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna point out you can't have sex with my wife.
Well, there we go. Well, we're good then.
Okay.
We're good.
It isn't enough to be funny and talented. You have to be smart to last in comedy for 30 years. Aries Spears shares some insight with us and tells us why winning fights isn't enough to make you the best boxer of all time.
I have to ask you, because you used some boxing analogies and I missed the opportunity early when you said greatest boxer of all time in your opinion, and why?
Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And I know Sugar Ray Robinson probably had the better record, the longer record, and some boxing purists / pugilists would say he's the greatest, and I've heard him say it. But Ali stood for something, man. You know, you look at Floyd Mayweather, who I think I don't want to say is overrated, but I mean, come on, dog. What you have to offer is you showing your money all the time. You know,
that's some defense.
Come on, dog. Ali's record was 56-5, which is still pretty damn impressive considering 3 years of his career got shut down because of the Vietnam thing. So imagine what he would have been those 3 years in his prime. But you know, he stood for something. He made black people, particularly black men, at a time feel like, you know, when we were constantly made to feel ugly and we weren't worthy and we had big lips and big noses and we were what they call animals and jungle, you know, creatures. Ali was sexy. Ali was gorgeous. You know, he made you stick your chest out, put your chin up. And whether you were gorgeous like him or you were a gorilla like he claimed, a la Joe Frazier, he made you as a black man feel beautiful. And to be able to watch him poetically move in and out of that ring and articulate and fight and do what he did and be graceful, he was everything that we needed. So he don't have to have a perfect record. His image, his attitude, his persona was perfect. And I'll take that over 50-0 any day. You know what I mean? He made something. I met Ali and I'm a grown man. I cried like a baby. You know, that man meant something to people, and he changed lives, and he gave a damn, and he was genuine, and that's what you could get. He was genuine, man.
A little bit about the business now. You had the second longest tenure at Mad TV.
Right.
198 episodes, I think, was the total.
Something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Do you have a preference? Would you rather be doing sketch comedy? If I made you pick one, would it be sketch comedy or would it be stand-up?
Well, the two would have to go hand in hand. I mean, but if I had to pick one, wow. Well, stand-up has always been the bread and butter. You know, that's what I started out with, and you know, probably will end with. But man, I love me some sketch, man, because sketch ain't like formulaic sitcoms where, you know, it's pretty much the same. Look, comedy in general, the formula is set up punchline, you know, ba-dum boom. But with sketch, there's places you can go, darker, edgier, character-driven, impressions-driven, where it's with, you know, sitcoms, it's basically the same formula. And unless you do something that's really unique, which I think back in the day of the 70s and the 80s, All in the Family, the Jeffersons, Good Times, those shows were unique because they were so honest and they tackled real life stuff and didn't seem campy. Whereas a lot of stuff on TV just seems so safe. You know, it seems safe.
Yeah.
Even in their attempt to be risque, it's safe.
Very much so. Now, you started a podcast, and it's called
Spears and Steinberg, AKA The Jew and the Jerk.
The Jew and the Jerk. Yeah. How do you like that compared to the other mediums? Is that something like, because it's kind of, I mean, you're doing radio essentially. It's not the same kind, but is that something that you look at and think, man, I could do that too?
Yeah, I mean, because I love the freedom of it. You know, it's you really get a chance to say whatever you want, and I'm scared that in a certain amount of time they'll try to shut that down. But you know, you just say whatever you want, and we're unfiltered, and we're real, and we're raw. You know, we like Bolivian uncut yayo, baby, in its purest form, man.
I like it. Any advice? Last question. Any advice for young comics or young people trying to get into the business itself that may be watching this that are fans of yours?
Yeah, just be prepared to take the hits. You know, it's like a 15-round fight, old school. You know, you win some rounds, and some rounds you got to lay up against the ropes and take the rib shots. But whatever happens, you always got to try to answer the bell, because this business is a soul stealer. You know, it'll make you want to quit. It'll make you want to do drugs. It'll make you want to drink. It'll make you have fights with your loved ones, because you're constantly wrestling your integrity and what you believe in, like a kid in a candy store. But the reality of it, It'll eat you. It'll eat you. So if you can get through this game sober, you're winning. I know you will edit this, so probably won't even use this, but I try to fight stress as much as I can, which is why I so much.
We're not editing that. We're leaving
I
it.
a lot.
That's your drug of choice?
That's my drug of choice, baby.
That's a good drug to have.
It's my cocaine, baby.
Sniff, never mind.
Yeah, man, you can do that too. There's a high from that, as long as the fish ain't bad.